This is United Network News with Sunny Galt, Calen Gipp, Kimberly Gogan, and our field messengers from around the world. Here's today's real news.
In modern times, the desire to replicate natural scents has led to the widespread use of synthetic fragrances. While these synthetic versions offer affordability and accessibility, they can pose dangers due to the chemicals used in their production. Synthetic scents or fragrance are mysterious mixtures that can include carcinogens, allergens, respiratory irritants, endocrine disruptors, neurotoxic chemicals, and environmental toxicants. These scents are found in body care products, cosmetics, air fresheners, cleaning materials, and laundry detergents. Pretty much in everything we use every day.
One of the most important things you can avoid and should avoid to keep your hormones regulated and pure, or whatever you want to say, is fragrance. The amount of fragrance you're putting on yourself every day. Sometimes I get in the elevator or people will come here and I can't even breathe. And the baby powders and the lotions and the candles and the makeup and the fragrance you spray and the body lotion with fragrance in it and then the body wash with it. And your hair product has fragrance. All that fragrance causes a disruption of your hormones. They're endocrine disruptors.
The risks of synthetic scents might not be obvious to everyone, but studies suggest it's wise to steer clear of them. Back in the 1980s, the National Academy of Sciences pointed out up to 95% of the chemicals in synthetic fragrances come from petroleum, including benzene derivatives, aldehydes, and toluene, which have been linked to cancer, birth defects, and allergies. After more than 40 years, these toxic ingredients are still present in everyday products. Naturally, you might assume the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, or FDA, mandates fragrance and cosmetic makers to disclose the exact ingredients used for scents, right? Well, they don't. The FDA also can't legally require companies to warn about allergens in cosmetics as they do with food.
The level of how fragrances have penetrated our society, trash bags, every laundry detergent, every cologne, it's even in food packaging. It's almost as powerful as a drug. I would say it's as powerful as a drug. So fragrances are one of the things that really should be eliminated. And I don't know how they're allowed to get away with this. It's really, really toxic. You can decide to breathe this stuff in or not. But the research is really clear when it comes to fragrances and the pervasive nature of fragrances. You can live a life that's connected to chemicals and chemical fragrances. In my opinion, that's not adding value to your life, but it took a lot of pain and suffering for me to wake up to that win.
So why do companies use these synthetic scents if they're harmful? Simply put, they are cheaper. Synthetic scents offer a cost-effective way to add appealing aromas, and the fragrance industry has turned into a massive market, making millions and growing more every year. For example, air fresheners are a booming business in the United States, with about 75% of American households using them, generating more than $1 billion in industry profits. Since 2003, sales have doubled thanks to new varieties of solids, aerosols, and plug-ins, offering a wide range of scents. Environmental groups warn many air fresheners pose health risks due to the pollutants they contain. On the other hand, industry representatives claim air fresheners are safe. U.S. agencies like the Consumer Product Safety Commission and the Environmental Protection Agency have not issued definitive rulings, citing limited research on health effects.
Air fresheners, do you use them? I definitely don't. A, because you don't need them if you keep your house clean and not stinking of God knows what. But B, they actually are a chemical concoction of God knows what. That ingredients list is so wild, I don't even know how to pronounce some of those things. And when you sniff something and you're breathing it in, whatever's being emitted from that air freshener is going up into your nostrils. And there have been studies that's shown that can cause lung issues, it can cause other things linked to cancer and all sorts, which you don't really want to do. This is like added chemicals to your environment, which your body will take in over time, so avoid the air fresheners.
Many people are surprised to learn these chemicals can be absorbed by the body. When you smell things like air fresheners, you're inhaling chemicals that quickly reach your bloodstream through your lungs. If air fresheners aren't suitable for our homes, perhaps scented candles could be a better alternative. Unfortunately, not quite, as they often contain, you guessed it, synthetic fragrances.
The sweet scent of lavender, spiced apple, vanilla, peppermint, or my personal favorite, fresh linen. While the fragrance oils used in scented candles may smell delightful, they're often made up of a toxic cocktail of synthetic chemicals, including phytolates, which are known endocrine disruptors.
All right, I'm gonna go cry.
In other words, these chemicals can mess with your hormones, leading to a host of health issues, including reproductive problems, thyroid dysfunction, and even cancer. Additionally, the fragrances used in scented candles can trigger allergic reactions in some individuals, leading to symptoms such as sneezing, coughing, and itchy eyes. So while you may love the smell of your favorite candle, it's worth considering whether it's worth the risk to your health.
Children are also often more susceptible to fragrances in the air. Studies show air fresheners release more fragrance at a child's breathing level than an adult's. Fragrances often cause skin reactions in kids who are more sensitive due to their developing bodies and smaller sizes. Exposure during pregnancy might lead to long-term effects like behavioral issues. No safe exposure level has been identified for kids, and research on the impact of daily exposure to various fragrances is lacking.
If you are still using air fresheners, which if you've been watching me for any period of time, you know are a big no-no for me, pay special attention if you have kids, because these things can be causing expanded issues in children. They release VOCs, which are compounds that are very irritative. They have an impact on your indoor air quality. So it's basically like you're exposing them to air pollution inside the house. They also have chemicals and fragrances that sensitive children could feel even more than adults, all of which can exacerbate asthma or other respiratory conditions.
So what can you do to minimize exposure for you and your family? Start by reading product labels carefully and steering clear of anything that lists fragrance or perfume. Whenever possible, go for fragrance-free options. But keep in mind that products labeled unscented might still have chemicals to mask odors. Choose products labeled fragrance-free and explore brands known for their commitment to transparency and natural ingredients, or those using natural essential oils for scent. Also, consider making some of your own fragrant products at home. It provides a creative outlet and ensures you know exactly what ingredients are used, offering a natural alternative to store-bought fragrances. It's like giving yourself a gift of well-being and getting closer to nature's authentic scents. Fragrances may seem harmless, but many contain hidden toxins that can have lasting effects on our health and the environment. By being mindful of the products we use and choosing safer alternatives, we can protect ourselves and our planet. Start with small changes in your daily routine and encourage others to do the same for a safer, fresher world.
The transformative power of breathwork offers numerous health benefits and a deeper connection to oneself and nature. UNN Field Messenger Jason interviews Marcel Hoff about his experience with breathwork.
Morning, it's Jason here from Perth, Western Australia, doing a field messenger report for United Network News. We've just been doing an early morning swim in this ocean here. It's a group called the Human Excellence Project, and there was a very special guest today, Marcel Hoff, the brother of Wim Hof, who's been bringing breathwork and ice therapy to the world, and yeah, we had a little chat. So Marcel, we've just been doing a breath work. Obviously this is a big part of your life.
Absolutely, yeah. It's just I did it like for 30 or 40 years, trying out with my brother Wim, breathing, going into the cold, going to extremes, just exploring the body and seeing what is inside and what comes outside.
Yeah.
To enjoy life more. So, and now I'm allowed to do it here with this group. Just privileged.
Yeah, we are, aren't we? And what are the benefits that you've experienced in your time with breathwork?
Yeah, there's so much benefits. It benefits also just getting more oxygen, energy in your body, so it goes to naturally to the ways where it needs to go, and that's the beauty of it. But the last 2 years I was working especially with trauma, PTSD, deep stress. It helps you to release easily all these things and bringing it together and changing consciousness and bringing people deeper where you can easily let go of whatever stress or whatever trauma there is with the right intention is the most powerful thing on earth. So it's simple. It's free. So it's just taking more energy in your body and it finds its own way. So it's a beauty.
Yeah.
So together with the cold also, it helps your heart rate slow down. It's the basis of health, physically, mentally, and from there you can use that extra energy for whatever you want. So that's the beauty.
And you're traveling around the world teaching this?
Like here in Perth, I'm going to Bali, we are invited to Costa Rica, but lots of countries. Why? Because it works. It's the most natural way. The indigenous people did it for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Now there's a lot of research, also because of my brother, he brought it a little to science. So the influence is becoming bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It becomes more the natural way of living. And that's beautiful to show people that what is inside, they can get it outside and get more energy, more freedom, more joy. So simple. So it has enormous beauty.
Yeah.
Back to nature, finding inner nature, connecting with outer nature. So we feel this natural connection. So not only from the mind, you get an experience of life itself. It has its enormous beauty, and it's simple.
Right.
Simple.
Just through breathing.
Breathing, cold, but it's all in a way of symbolic, getting the blocks away. Because if we are unblocked, or if there is no block, you feel this natural connection with life itself. So it helps you to acknowledge the blocks. First you have to acknowledge it, see it, and then just let it go. But because there is this identification, we get a lot of information, we are all conditioned, all programmed, all hypnotized, getting out of this hypnosis, getting back to life again, feeling this connection. That's my intention, and that's beautiful to connect with people all over the world and to show them just a simple way.
Yeah. And what's been your biggest revelation through the breath work? Is there one
breath work?
And the cold, because it's all together, I guess, for you?
Yeah, I did so many things, trying with hypnosis, with focus, with trance, all these things, trying out all different ways to come to the simple fact that we are all one. But to get an experience of it helps all a little. But to bring it together, this energy, everything is vibration, everything is energy. It helps all to discover your own heart. And what is the heart is that we are all one. That's the real fact. That's the only science there is. We are one. We are united. This division is just a make-up. And at the moment you are too identified with this make-up, you think you are, I forgot your name. Jason. You think you are Marcel. You think you are this cameraman. It's all an illusion, so we have to get out of this illusion, get disidentified, feeling this connection with life again, and then you feel this totality. And then you can choose, you can play with life. We've got all this possibility that we can play with life. We've got this choice again. So if you got no choice, you only have got one way, one perception. If you play with perception, all these different sides where you can see yourself, you see you are not only stuck to one way of thinking, one way of feeling.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty. There's so much. And then we can flower as different people, all in our own unique way. And then there is natural respect, natural connection, natural feeling. Also all nature.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, beautiful to be here.
Yeah. Thank you, mate.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
We've all seen those forgotten patches of land around our neighborhoods. Empty lots and roadside corners filled with weeds and debris. Now imagine if we could turn these spaces into lively, colorful gardens packed with life and beauty. That's the essence of guerrilla gardening. This grassroots movement is all about passionate individuals and groups who take it upon themselves to convert forgotten spaces into flourishing green sanctuaries. Guerrilla gardening is usually done without permission, which makes it illegal most of the time. However, the purpose behind it is to make positive changes in our communities and improve the quality of life for both people and nature. It's a form of activism that promotes self-sufficiency, community building, and environmentalism.
If you're having a hard time spreading your seeds like most guys, I'm here to help. Step 1, you've got to leave your musty room. Then you're going to go anywhere but back inside your house. You'll be surprised by how many places look like the Outlands from The Lion King. Now all you got to do is make sure people can see it when you're done. Here's a perfect example of where to guerrilla garden. There's no bush, it gets soaking wet, and it's in a public space where everyone can see you spreading your seed. If you want a guerrilla garden like me, these techniques are essential. I like degrading things, like this invasive honeysuckle that spreads so wide it's seen this entire landscape. It makes me feel that much better repopulating the environment on my free time. See you next time. Happy guerrilla garden.
Long before guerrilla gardening became a term, people reclaimed land for agriculture, whether as a political or environmental statement. For example, the People's Park in Berkeley, California, originated in 1969 when activists transformed university-owned land into a park, sparking ongoing legal disputes. In the 1970s, guerrilla gardening became a global trend, improving urban spaces and food choices in areas with limited access to food that is plentiful, affordable, or nutritious. The movement led to more mainstream urban community gardens and food reform initiatives. With leadership worldwide often lacking in addressing biodiversity loss and social challenges, communities are stepping up to make a difference themselves. Far from being hidden, guerrilla gardening is actually most effective when it's a visible part of the community, getting everyone involved and encouraging others to join in.
What I really love is when people do something unusual. They don't necessarily get paid for it, but they see something they don't like, they act on it, and they say, look, we're going to get together and we're going to make this place look pretty. And I was buzzing around yesterday in Surrey, and I met some really nice people doing exactly that.
And the lovely ladies here are doing their own thing. They're ignoring the council and they're making this look beautiful. So I thought I'd stop off and give them a few plants. And if you hadn't done this, it would just get left, would it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's been tucked for about 5 years. This area has been neglected. The council no longer want to love it. So Drew and I have just been cutting it all back this morning.
I'll put a few things down. Only because I had a few left over in the van. Carry on making Britain beautiful.
Absolutely.
Guerrilla gardening might seem like it's just for the young and rebellious, but it truly brings the whole community together, from kids to elders. Parents often involve their children, teaching them the joys of gardening, while older residents love to share their gardening know-how. It's really about everyone pitching in to make their neighborhood better. This activity isn't just fun, it has environmental benefits too. Turning bleak areas into lively green spaces can cut down air pollution and ease the urban heat island effect. Plus, it creates habitats for wildlife and boosts city biodiversity.
You know about guerrilla gardening?
Yeah, it's like planting trees without permission.
Yeah, because people cut down trees without permission, so we should plant trees
without permission.
Yeah, that's the only way to beat the speed at which the trees are getting cut right now.
5 trees are getting cut in 1 hour.
For those taking part in guerrilla gardening, it's a chance to unleash some creativity and learn new skills in gardening and landscaping. The act of nurturing plants and watching them grow can be incredibly therapeutic, providing a much-needed escape from the stress of everyday life. These vibrant gardens don't just look good either. They're live classrooms teaching sustainable practices and local biodiversity. Green spaces are a mental health boon as well. offering peaceful places to relax and chat. On top of rewilding urban areas, guerrilla gardening groups sometimes plant edible crops in public spaces, encouraging everyone to share the bounty. It's all about growing and sharing local food, swapping skills, and giving the local economy a helpful nudge. These activities offer free, healthy food, promote an active lifestyle, and strengthen community bonds in a world that often seems too focused on individualism.
When I got in touch with my friend, Monica, and I was like, I'm coming to New York City, where's the place?
Welcome to New York, Andrew. We have got to go to Smiling Hog's Head Ranch. This is one of the best permaculture spots in New York City. You'll see for yourself.
This was a trash dump, and it was bioremediated with compost, with mushroom mycelium, with bokashi effective microorganisms. And this post-industrial site was actually turned into an incredible oasis right in the heart of Queens, New York. And this site shows that we can take polluted industrial sites and we can restore them, we can recover them, we can repair the soils and turn them back into luscious, abundant food and nature-producing sites.
However, this initiative faces challenges. By bypassing public authorities managing these spaces, participants sometimes encounter resistance from government bodies reluctant to relinquish control. While there are no specific laws governing guerrilla gardening, there are rules about trespassing and property damage. Ultimately, it depends on what local authorities tolerate in public spaces, making it a bit of a gray area.
Here is a fun idea. This is an island on one of Berlin's freeway, and these are 1,600 flower bulbs. My friend George wanted to plant them on this island, and I thought it was a nice idea. So we gathered some friends and went out to plant them. Now these bulbs cost close to nothing and can be planted in December and even in late January. And another interesting thing is that if you go out on a guerrilla planting mission and get stopped by the police, they will not do anything. Because when done carefully and respectfully, flower planting is actually encouraged. So if you are looking for something nice to do,
it's important to note that guerrilla gardening should always be done with safety in mind. Be mindful of any hazards or chemicals in the soil and always respect private property lines. Here are some handy tips. Avoid causing damage by using removable planters and skipping permanent changes. Go for native plants instead of invasive ones. Keep it safe by clearing tripping hazards and steering clear of poisonous plants. Try to minimize noise and disruptions and make sure pathways stay clear. The beauty of guerrilla gardening lies in its spontaneous nature, driven by the passion to transform urban spaces into little pockets of nature. Whether planting sunflowers on a street corner or starting a vegetable plot in an abandoned space, it harnesses the power of plants to create positive change in a fun, sneaky way. It's an open invitation for everyone to roll up their sleeves, get their hands dirty, and help create a more connected world.
St. Croix in the U.S. Virgin Islands is a great place to explore marine life. UNN Field Messenger Jill highlights the amazing underwater species found here.
Hey there, this is Jill from St. Croix in the U.S. Virgin Islands, Field Messenger for UNN. And today I would like to share with you Cane Bay, which is on the north shore of St. Croix. And it's a beautiful beach and a beautiful bay with lots of snorkeling and diving. And I'd like to introduce you to some of my underwater friends. This is a beautiful spotted eagle ray that happened to swim right up in front of me when I was swimming out for my morning swim. You can hear me talking through my snorkel. I like to communicate with the beings. And those are remoras underneath the eagle ray, swimming along with him. And this is a little cutie pie This is a baby hawksbill turtle, which is a pretty rare sighting for Cane Bay anyway. That's a yellow sea fan, and that's fire coral in front of him. And he was just such a sweet little guy. And then this is an adult hawksbill. This is a male hawksbill turtle. You could tell he's a male because of his large tail. See the big tail in between his two flippers, back flippers? This guy was very friendly and a little curious. Watch. This one's more camouflaged. Do you see it? The fish oftentimes give it away. Woo! There he goes. This is a manta ray. Very rare sighting in Cane Bay. Whee! Right under me. So cool. And this is a moon jelly. This is Jill from St. Croix, wrapping up for United Network News.
Romania's waterfalls amaze visitors with their stunning beauty. UNN Field Messenger Monica explores the fascinating legends and geographic wonders linked to these spectacular falls.
Hello, this is Monica from Romania, Field Messenger reporting for UNN. Located at an altitude at about 1,000 meters and with a total height of about 30 meters, Bride's Vale is a two-step waterfall of particular grandeur and wildness, being one of the most interesting and beautiful waterfalls in the Apusen Mountains. An old legend says that the name of the waterfall comes from the fact that a bride fell from the steep cliffs in the area where the waterfall is located, and her veil got caught on the rocks. In winter, the rock face becomes an excellent place for ice climbing, but whatever the season, you will feel the mountain's energy embrace you, connecting your soul with nature's equally beautiful essence. We all know how majestic the waterfalls are in winter when they are completely frozen, or how grateful we are to cool down in one of them in summer. But this is not the case with a boiling waterfall, which is a completely different and unique waterfall, being a waterfall of hot springs. Located in the picturesque region of Transylvania, Boiling Waterfall is over 20 meters high and collects all 16 thermal mineral springs of the area, so it never freezes. In the cold season, all the vegetation around the waterfall seems to have been removed from an ice kingdom by the steam of the thermal water, so here winter is not coming. Numerous travertine sills and small pools have formed at the foot of the waterfall, from where you can reach the water curtain and enjoy a wonderful bath in the wilderness. Horses Waterfall is located at the highest altitude in Romania at an altitude of 1,300 meters, and it has a 90 meters fall, making it one of the tallest waterfalls in Romania. Whether you choose to hike in the mountains where the trails are well marked, or take the more comfortable chairlift from Borșa Resort to admire this waterfall, you will have to travel to the northern part of Romania, to Maramureș, one of the most beautiful regions of the country. The water that comes from the melting snow and the rains gather in a glacial circus, and from there it starts in the valley, drains over a steep limestone called the Horses Bridge, forming the waterfall. The same stream, Horses Valley, forms a canyon of other 9 waterfalls upstream of Horses Waterfall. The legend of the Horses Waterfall is breathtaking. It is said that on the rich pastures of the mountains, which were the favorite places of the locals for grazing their horses during the summer, hundreds of horses roam with their impressive elegance, creating their own paradise there. However, the mountain was not always as magical as we imagine, because the bear was trying to find prey among those horses, cornering them and somehow leading them to the precipice we know today as the horse's waterfall. The legend also says that this waterfall was formed by the tears of the local people and the shepherds who had lost their beloved horses. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Are you ready to change the world? Take the next step and join our weekly Field Messenger meetings. Learn more at unitednetwork.earth. I am United Network News, and so are you.